Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Rachele Teson and I'm a Nationally Certified School Psychologist here in Missouri. This week's Tech Tip Tuesday is all about the concept of block scheduling. I first heard about this idea from Jordan Page here on YouTube, and as soon as I heard it, I wondered, how can I apply this to school psychology? And so the idea is just like maybe when you were in middle school or high school, you have a block schedule where from 8 to 9, you're in math class, you've got your math notebook out, you're working on math, you're not thinking about other things. It's a way to block off some time to focus on a particular task. And we know with productivity and efficiency that batching similar tasks together is the best way to boost our efficiency and save us time. So, what I thought I would do is just do a screen share and kind of model how you would set up a block schedule for yourself as a school psychologist. So let's say you have contracted time from 8 to 4, just hypothetically. What I would do first, if you are starting off the school year, or maybe you're just starting off this block scheduling, um, after hearing this idea and you want to implement it right away, what I would do is I would start with your building's master schedules. So I would look at when are students and teachers available for testing, counseling, whatever your role looks like, when are teachers available for meetings, when are fall parties, things like that, to where you want to avoid those times, just to kind of think about those building level schedule pieces. So let's say you looked at the master's schedule and it looks like students aren't really available until about 9 a.m. So that first hour of the day, let's say that you want to make sure you're prioritizing as much report writing as possible so you're not taking things home. I would encourage you to put report writing on your calendar as an appointment with yourself. So I'll go ahead and model what that would look like. So I'm in Google Calendar, and if Google Calendar is new to you, you just go to calendar.google.com. I would really encourage you to try it out. I used to be a paper planner person, and since switching to Google, it's been much more efficient for me. And since I am in a district that uses Google for communication, scheduling meetings, all of those things, it's nice because as I'm setting up my schedule, my availability is easily able to be seen by other people. So I'm on Google Calendar, and let's say from 8 to 9, like I said, we want to make this report writing time. And instead of typing it out Monday, Tuesday, each time, we're going to make this a recurring event. So I'm going to click on more options. And then where it says does not repeat, we're going to change this to every weekday. So Monday to Friday, when I'm at school, 8 to 9, I'm report writing. I'm going to hit save. And then let's say when you're looking at the master's schedule, it looks like most students are available to be pulled from class between 9 and 10:30. Maybe that's the time where they wouldn't be missing any of those, special areas, lunch or recess, those kinds of things. So let's make that a recurring event. So from 9 to 10:30, let's say that's your testing block. More options. Every weekday, save. And then let's say right after testing, you want to have time carved out to do that first small piece of scoring that assessment. That way you're not having to do that later. Let's say from 10:30 to 11, maybe just 30 minutes, we're doing some assessment scoring or behavior observations during testing, those kinds of things. Just write a note to yourself of what you're going to use that time for. And then more options. Every weekday, save. Now, let's say you also want to have time to respond to email, check your voicemail, things like that. Maybe that's a good, after that first morning spot there, maybe that's something you want to add. So maybe from 11 to 11:30, you're doing emails, maybe following up on phone calls. I usually call that office hours for myself. We'll make this recurring every weekday. Save. And then let's say 11:30, that is your lunchtime and you want to protect that for yourself. So we'll put 11:30 to noon is when you take your lunch every weekday. Save. And then let's say you have an intervention group after your lunch, but your intervention group is only Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or only certain days of the week. You can easily set up those types of recurring events also. So let's say from 12 to 12:30, you're doing an intervention group. You do intervention group. And then more options. This time we're going to go to custom and we're going to click on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And then hit save. Now that intervention group that I have, Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, is there as a protected time. And then let's say at the end of the day, you want to carve out even more time for email, phone calls, things like that. So let's say from 2:30 to 3:30, you've got office hours. And if you're like me, you're looking at your email all throughout the day, but you try to batch when you're responding to those emails, unless, of course, it's urgent. Okay, every weekday, save. And then let's say you also want to have Fridays, maybe that's bonus time for report writing. Maybe any meetings that you had this week, you want to have some additional report writing time. You could add that there with that white space available. Maybe you want to add, okay, here's when our problem solving team meetings occur. It's usually Tuesday afternoons for about an hour. Same thing, you could add events as you go and just fill in your block schedule. So maybe this is your student support teams, student success teams, problem solving, and maybe that is every Tuesday, weekly on Tuesdays. So that's just kind of an example of how you could build in this block schedule. And from there, as maybe you're getting consent forms back for testing plans, you're saying that you've got a report to write, what I would do is I would also kind of label each one as you go. Or alternatively, you could make this your block schedule calendar and then have it checked so that when you go to add events to your calendar, you know, okay, I'm going to write Rachel's report on Monday from 8 to 9 during that block. And I'm going to test Susie from 9 to 10:30 and kind of fill it in from there. That way, you know, these are the best times for these types of tasks. That way I can batch things together. I hope that you enjoyed this idea of block scheduling and maybe the gears are turning and you're thinking how you can apply this to your setting and in your schools. If you're using Google Calendar to block schedule, or if you have tricks to help carve out time during the day so that you can be effective and save time, I would love to hear your ideas in the comments. And if you have any questions about how to use Google Calendar or questions about block scheduling, I would love to help support you. And like I said, I found this really valuable for myself. So I hope you try it out and that it's a success for you. See you next week.